Hello everyone and welcome back to IMO Reviews. Today we are discussing Halloween Ends, directed by David Gordon Green and starring Jamie Lee Curtis, James Jude Courtney, Andy Matichak and Rowan Campbell. This is the final instalment of the rebooted Halloween franchise, supposedly being the final piece to end the entire series, as Michael Myers and Laurie Strode meet in their final showdown. But before we go any further, you know what to do by now. Not all heroes wear capes, some just hit the like and the subscribe button, and it really does make all the difference to this channel, so we thank you if you do. So let's discuss the few things that I liked about Halloween Ends. Believe it or not, I actually really enjoyed the opening setup to this movie. I thought it was quite a unique and original opening. It had me on my toes and wondering where this was going. I thought all of it was filmed and made very competently, and I also thought there was a very good understanding of building tension throughout. There's also a lot of very nicely done homages to the original movie, as this rebooted trilogy has done constantly, but it's still worth mentioning here. It's still nicely done. I thought the performances were fine. Nobody's really going to knock your socks off, but no one's painful to watch either. And the gore is okay. It's not great, if I'm being brutally honest. It's very fleeting. It's not that bloody of a movie, which kind of dovetails immediately into my cons. And the biggest one is that this is barely a Halloween movie. This is more of a romantic drama than it is a Halloween scary flick. In fact, I'd almost go as far as saying that the script straight up isn't for a Halloween movie, and it's just been rehashed and repurposed to fit a Halloween movie. It certainly feels that way. There's a super unnecessary and badly done recap right at the beginning of the film, and it's like, why is this here? This isn't the most complicated and in-depth story to follow. We're also 13 movies into the franchise. If you aren't following at this point, you were never gonna follow. That immediately out the gates concerned me. It sort of suggested that they are going to pander to the audience. I mean, it's a slasher franchise that just repeats the same formula and has been doing so for over 40 years now. Why would any member of the public need that broken down and explained to them in a 5-minute recap? Yeah, you basically called the audience a bunch of idiots before you even really opened the movie. I also didn't really understand Laurie Strode's character development here. I'm not going to go into spoilers, but all I'm going to say is it doesn't make sense. Where she finds herself at the start of this movie does not at all marry up to where she was at the end of the last movie. And I honestly think they've only done that so that she has something to do this time, because that was the biggest complaint of Halloween Kills, is that, yeah, Jamie Lee Curtis is back, but she spends 90% of the film in a hospital bed. It's like they listened to that criticism, but they still had absolutely no idea what to do with her, so they just sort of made it up as they went along. Because looking back on it, it's pointless. And as much as I gave praise to that opening scene and how it was doing things differently, after about 15-20 minutes, the movie slams the handbrake on and becomes pedestrianly slow and boring as hell. I did not expect this to be a romantic drama, nor did I want it to be a romantic drama. Nor was I sold a romantic drama. This is an utterly awful bait and switch. And I think because the advertising in the trailer makes this out to be one big final showdown, people are going to be pissed at this movie because it really isn't that until the last 15 minutes. Yeah, there's a whole hour of absolute drivel that you have to sit through first. Why does Michael Myers feel like such a fucking afterthought in his own movie? His own final movie. His franchise. And yet, honestly, I think he gets about 15 minutes worth of screen time here. And again, his powers are really vague and up in the air to just be, I don't know, take it as it is. One really weak guy punches him in the face and that floors him, but Laurie Strode smacks a fire extinguisher around his head and he just walks that one off. I don't know. And they constantly sold this movie as being the ending, and to be honest, I don't think anyone ever actually believes this to be the ending. I mean, we're 13 movies in. If this was going to end, it would have ended. But clearly, this thing makes money. And if it makes money, they're going to get made. I'd be confident to put money on it. 10 years from now, by 2032, Halloween will have been rebooted yet again, because it's really easy to rehash shit that you know makes money. It's just utter nonsense, and it takes a bloody age to get going and do something. Within 30 minutes of the movie, the scariest thing I'd seen is Rowan Campbell's dance moves. And the way the entire town treats this one guy, it's so messed up and abusive to a point that it was actually quite funny. Like, people are actively trying to run him over, like on a daily basis. It got funny to me. And if this is how people treat each other in this world, then no, I don't care about any of them. And if anything, it makes Michael the hero of the story. I want Michael to turn up and butcher all of these horrible, horrible people. You're trying to deliver this message that society creates the monster, but it's just a complete and utter mess in the way that you are trying to portray that. And I know at this point I'm just nitpicking, but did anybody else think the closing shot of this movie was really weird? Like, the film has its closing shot, and it's fine to just cut to black and start rolling the credits. But then it decides to show 2 or 3 other closing shots that are way less effective than the original closing shot. And when it did finally cut to black, I found myself sitting there going, what the fuck was that? I'm gonna give Halloween Ends a 2 out of 10. This is somehow worse than Halloween Kills, and that was pretty damn bad. I think I gave that movie a 4 out of 10 if I'm remembering correctly. It might have been a 5. And my complaints were that the movie is incredibly dumb, but at least you get a good amount of Michael Myers murdering folks and doing it well. Whereas here, it's the same stupidity and nonsense of Halloween Kills, but this time they've removed the only interesting and exciting aspect, which is Michael Myers. I just cannot wrap my head around that. That's going to give me sleepless nights. How and why would you leave Michael Myers out of the closing chapter of his franchise? That's one for the philosophers. And the more depressing part is that with movies coming out this year such as Barbarian and Pearl, I thought we were on the right track with horror. I thought we were making original, scary, well-made projects that are made with love and care. And then Halloween Ends comes out. And then I hear we're also rebooting The Exorcist for no fucking reason whatsoever. And I guess I must have spoken too soon. Apparently people still want this sort of crap in their lives. God help us. Thank you for watching this review. Please be sure to hit that like button and hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and please do hit the comment section as well. Have you seen Halloween Ends? What did you think about it? Did you like it, or are you like me and personally found it to be a bit of a drag? Let me know in the comment section below. Take care, and I look forward to seeing you on the next review.